Welcome everybody back. I'm Frosted Fricks, and today I'm going to be addressing you as my normal self, Jesse, the man behind the glasses and the voices and all the funny things that you like to see on here. I want to address some things that have been going on in my life that has been affecting me a lot lately, and this is sort of like me airing out some of my laundry. And yes, I know, like some of you, like who cares, but I want to get this off my chest, and I feel it's absolutely owed to you guys, especially since I hadn't uploaded it in 2 weeks. And this is an explanation of what might be going on. So, to preface this, about 2 weeks ago, I did a live stream for charity. It was for the local Buffalo Women's and Children's Hospital. And that is a personal passion of mine because this particular hospital saved my life as a child. And without them, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys today. And I have been giving back to them every year since I started YouTube. However, this 12-hour live stream I did, nobody showed up. And that happens. And honestly, you don't owe it to me to show up. You don't. This is why it's called a charity. You guys either show up or you don't. But the fact was, I still did it, and that should be all that matters. We did the effort, and it's fine. We didn't get where we wanted to be, but at least the effort was put out. It could have been worse, and I could have done nothing. But instead, I put out the effort, and I can take that away from this situation. So you can imagine after about 12 hours streaming and not really getting anywhere, I was a little upset. So I ended my stream, and I went into a private room with some close friends. And I wanted to talk with them for a while. We ended up talking for a bit, and I through these conversations managed to work through some issues. Through these conversations, I managed to self-reflect quite a lot and come to the realization that there might be something actually underlying that I have never addressed, nor has anyone in my family addressed this whole time. And that's not to say that they didn't want to. That's to say that there might have been something that no one knew about. So during that conversation, I had mentioned I hadn't uploaded in a little bit, and they noticed that. But here's the thing. It's not because I didn't want to. It's actually quite the opposite. I want to upload for you guys. I'm 100% motivated to do this. I want to get this stuff in for you. I want you guys to have all this wonderful work that keeps coming in my head. And I write in this little teeny tiny notebook right here. I write all the time in this. All of my ideas goes right into that notebook. And it gets there and it starts filling and filling and filling. But here's my issue. I don't do them. Not to say that I don't want to do them. I don't do them because I'm too distracted. And let me explain that a little bit more. When I want to do something, I get motivated to do it real quick. And I sit down to do it. However, my mind then tries to drag me off to do other things. And then it wants me to do other things. And then it wants me to do other things. Now I got all these lines, these hands coming out, trying to drag me to do other things, which makes it very hard for me to concentrate on the one thing I want to do. To give a better example, you're sitting down and you pull out a book. You want to read this book. Then a hand reaches out and grabs you by the shoulder and goes, "Come with me, you got to draw." Another hand reaches out and grabs you by the shoulder and goes, "Come with me, you got to practice your guitar." Another reach out, and then it goes, "You need to worry about this car payment you got." Another reaches out and says, "You got work you got to worry about. You're assistant manager there, and you want to figure out how to make more money for the company." Another hand reaches out and says, "You got a YouTube channel you got to worry about, and you got to make sure you do that." Another hand reaches out, and then it goes, "You don't forget about your Twitch channel too." Another hand reaches out and goes, "What about friends and family? You don't forget about that." Another hand reaches out, and you get where this is going. All these hands are dragging you in different directions, and you don't know which one to go with. And what inevitably happens at the end of that is you shut down because you don't know what to do. It's sort of like giving up without giving up. This is not being lazy. This is being so motivated that you can't concentrate on the one thing or any one particular thing because you literally want to do it all at the same time. The worst part about this is if you're trying to look up answers for something, if you're trying to come up with some sort of solution, your solutions and answers need to be immediate or they're not good enough. And unfortunately, it's not always that easy. You don't get immediate answers all the time, which sucks. It totally does suck. But I've grown to slowly try to accept the fact that I can't get the answers that I want immediately all the time because evaluation has to happen. And I understand that. And after taking some time to self-reflect, I realized that this distraction that I'm referring to actually has been around for a very long time. When I was a kid, I couldn't concentrate on my work. I'd rather play toys, games, hang out with friends, kid things. But it extended to a point, in fact, where I couldn't concentrate on my work at school because I'd rather be doing something else because the work at school wasn't stimulating my mind enough and I was bored. It's not because I was lazy. It's not because I wasn't motivated, because I definitely wanted to do the work. Just I didn't find it interesting. And it followed me. This issue followed me through my entire grade school career, through my high school career, and yeah, their careers. Don't give me that high school career. Who makes a career out of school? No, don't give me that. You know what I mean. But it followed me, and the issue is I would procrastinate. I'm the worst procrastinator, and a lot of it has to do with the fact is I had no idea how much I needed to work on the one thing, and all of the procrastination rushing could have been completely avoided if I spent time doing it. Now, this could be attributed to the concept of me having poor scheduling processes, but as a kid, a schedule is really not something you keep. Just putting that out there. However, the issue arose when I would turn in projects and they would be A-plus projects, but I would get a C on them because they'd be late, because I couldn't concentrate enough on them. And when it came down to crunch time, all my focus went into the one thing I needed to do, and I was stressed out about it. I would cry sometimes. I would be so upset that I waited so long to do it, and I knew I could do it. I knew I could do it. It followed me into high school. It followed me into college. I failed a couple classes in college because I couldn't sit still. Because even though I knew I had to sit there and work on my projects, I couldn't sit in my chair. I was being stimulated to do so many other things. I couldn't sit in my chair and concentrate on the actual thing, the real thing that needed to happen, which is why I have so much college debt. Because I failed a couple classes, and that held me back a year or two, and that affected me. That affects me now, and that's bad. And unfortunately, there's no leeway for stuff like that. There isn't. And there have been times where it has affected me in my jobs because I wasn't being mentally stimulated enough to give a crap about what I was doing. And it wasn't that I didn't want to do it again. It's just that it wasn't a priority, but I knew it was a priority, if that makes any sense. It was something that I knew I needed to do, but I couldn't do it because I didn't want to do it, even though I should have and could have and had to do it. And this could also be attributed to someone saying, oh, well, then you're just being lazy or you're just not motivated enough. It's fine. Well, there's the thing again. It's not that I'm not motivated. I'm 100% motivated. I want to do it. I also want to do a lot of other things too, but I can't because I'm only one person. And that is just one of the most frustrating things on the planet. And even now, it's like that too. And it's been following me for some time. So after discussing this with a few friends, as I stated after the stream, one of them brings up a really good question, and that was, have I ever been tested for anything? Have I ever been evaluated for anything? Like on a mental scale. And the answer is no. I have never gone through a test of any sort, anything at all. And a lot of it had to do with me not wanting to accept the fact that I probably should have, and a lot of it having to do with the fact that I was raised during a time where this stuff wasn't even looked at. It was just you weren't disciplined right as a kid. And I can definitely say my parents are both amazing. My dad, rest his soul, he did his best with me, and I know I was always a stubborn person. I know I wasn't easy to get along with all the time. And I know it's not easy for people around me. My fiance, I love her to death, is got to be the most patient person on the planet. Even pointed out after I brought this up to her, yeah, actually, now that I think about it, you have been known to walk out of the classroom through no reason when we were in college. So after all this reflecting and thought, I had a doctor's appointment coming up. And I went yesterday. I went there yesterday. And I talked with him about the idea of potentially being tested for an issue. There shouldn't be a stigma behind what I believe I have. There shouldn't be. Uh, Growing up, there was, but there shouldn't be a stigma behind what I believe I have. I went to the doctor, and I sat down with him. He asked me how I was doing. They wanted to check on my weight, and it's fine. We're doing fine. We're still fine. But I digress. The doctor just came in. He wanted to check the weight, and then I sat down with him, and he's like, you wanted to talk to me about something else. And I'm like, yeah, actually, I did. And I discussed with him the possibility of me having ADHD or ADD. And he sat down and he looked at me and he asked me all the questions. And then I explained to him the brain running on full power but nothing moving type of deal. I explained to him that it has affected my job. It has affected my concentration in school. And it's been like that for a very long time. And he goes, I understand. And this is my primary care doctor, so I know he's not going to have all the answers for me with this. He's not a psychologist, but he did recommend me to one. And I have never had a psych evaluation in my life. I'm going to put that out there because why would I? I wouldn't think there was anything wrong. But I don't have answers right now. I'm going to put that out there. I don't have answers on what's going on. I don't have answers on what's going to happen because I don't even know. On Monday, I'm going to be going in to get evaluated, and they're going to talk to me. And then 2 weeks after that, I'm going to get a test. And then 2 weeks after that, I'm going to get the results. And you can imagine me being how I am and wanting answers almost instantly. This is going to drive me crazy. But the fact is, I'm finally taking action on something that has been bothering me for quite some time. And I'm glad I can. I'm glad I can finally concentrate at least on one thing, and that is improving myself, my mental fortitude, my ability to function as a normal human being. I want to be able to do that. But you're probably asking, what is normal, Jesse? I mean, honestly, I just want to be able to function and be able to get stuff done. At the end of all this, I mean, it'd be great if I had a solution, but I really just want answers. I need to know if there's something that hasn't been looked at. I need to know if there was preventative things that I could have done. And I need to figure out what can we do to prevent this from happening in the future. And honestly, it's always stated that the first door to self-improvement is self-reflection and realizing you have a problem. And I believe I have an idea of what my problem might be, but for right now, we don't know. I won't have an answer. Not for about a month. And it's really stressful. And in the interim, I'm going to be trying my best to try to help myself be a better person, even if that means loosening up on a schedule I can't keep, even if that means reworking a schedule and doing the stuff I want to do and also doing the stuff I have to do. Trust me, guys, this has been no easy video to do. I have been trying to look for the right words to say for honestly about 3 hours now, and it's been hard. It's hard to suddenly take everything you've done and put it down into a roughly 20-minute video. And I know some of you are either still here and actually care, and that's great, and I really appreciate you guys. You have no idea. And I want to be able to give you guys everything. I want to give you guys the world. I know what some of you might be thinking at this point in time. Oh, he's just looking for sympathy points and whatnot. And honestly, no, I'm not. I could care less about your sympathy points. I don't care about that. I don't want clout. I don't need any of this. I've already accepted the fact that I'm not going to be a big YouTuber. I'm not going to be a big streamer. None of that. I'm definitely going to put that out there. It's not going to happen. It won't happen. And that's fine. As long as I'm entertaining you guys, that's really what matters to me. As long as I'm bringing you guys the content that you want, that's really all that matters to me. If it happens in the process, that's cool. But that's not what this is about. I just want answers. That's all I want. I want clarity, I want answers, and I want focus. Most of all, I want focus. And I need it. I'm glad I'm taking the steps that I'm taking to find an answer. And I really hope that at the end of this road, at the end of that journey, that we come out on top. We come out better than ever. We come out feeling good, feeling great. And that's truly to me what matters. And I wanted to end it on this. I'm really sorry for talking for so long and taking so long to give you guys an explanation on what's going on. And I just needed to get it off of my chest. I felt that if I didn't, it was just going to eat me alive. And I'm glad I finally was able to talk about this. I'm glad I was able to put that out there. I know this is public. I know that people are going to see this. And I know that I'm going to be judged on it. And that's fine. And you can do what you want with it. And that's also fine. You can make fun of me, do what you need to do. If that makes you feel better about yourself, that's also fine. But this video, more than anything, was both as an explanation to you guys, but it was also for me something to come back on, something to come back to sometime in the future to realize where I was and where I am at that point in time. This is more of a reflection video. And honestly, I'm glad I made it. I'm glad I was able to put this out there. And again, I do apologize this is so long. But I thank you all very much for watching. Literally from the bottom of my heart, I want you guys to know that this isn't going to end. I'm not finishing. As a matter of fact, this is about to get better. This is about to get a lot better. We can only go up. And so I wanted to make sure you guys know this, that I really do love you all. And I care about you. I really do. And I appreciate every one of you who've come by and said hello or stopped or left a comment. And trust me, I will be commenting back. You don't have to leave a comment. You don't have to like. You don't have to subscribe. That's not what this video is about. Thank you so much.